What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryanne, and in today's video, we'll be discussing the exploitation of biracial children by their white mom influencers. Yeah, I took it there, and we're gonna go there, and we have a lot to discuss. But before we get into today's video, you guys know I like to start off every video with a little bit of positivity, so let's first start off with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, "I forgive myself for accepting less than what I deserved in the past." Today's verse of the day is Psalm chapter 37, verse 5, and it reads, "Let the Lord be your guide into the future. Trust in him, and he will help you." And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video.
Taking you in this moment.
I have had this video basically sitting on standby for, I think, over 2 years now, only because I did not want it to ruffle some feathers, because some people will take it the wrong way, I'm sure, as this is a commentary channel. But it had to be said because I've been seeing it more and more, and it's just so nauseating to see the exploitation of biracial children for content, and it pisses me clean off. But if y'all happen to get triggered, or you think you're gonna get triggered, please go ahead and exit stage left. There is no need for all of that. Please know that everything that I talk about is done with good intentions and just for the protection of not only children, but children of color, because we already, as children, as a former child here, have a lot to deal with just from being a kid and going through hormones and figuring yourself out, and then allow the color of your skin to be something else to have to come over, and then seeing your mother, who does not look like you, using you for content, has to be something that is going to be a case study in a couple of years. So also, before we get into today's video, if you guys enjoy watching Toni Bryanne TV on my YouTube channel, now you guys can watch me everywhere you go. That is because Toni Bryanne TV, the podcast, is officially launching. I don't know if I announced this in my last video quite yet. I guess we'll see. But if I did, I'm telling y'all again, make sure to check out the Toni Bryanne TV podcast. I will be on all audio streaming platforms. I'm so super excited. I'm officially signed to a podcasting company. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing step in my journey. So yes, I'm just thankful and grateful for this opportunity. But yes, all details will be linked down below so you guys can actually watch me on the go. Now, let's thank the sponsor of today's video. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time playing mobile games. It's the perfect way to unwind. But what if I told you you can actually win real rewards by playing your favorite games? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what I've been doing thanks to today's sponsor, Test 'em All. Test 'em All is a loyalty rewards app for mobile games. The app rewards users with real money payouts for playing popular mobile games. It's super simple to get started. Just download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play, enable tracking across apps, and you're all set. You can pick any free game featured in Test 'em All to start earning rewards today. I've been obsessed with playing the game Hidden Objects, and my first task was to reach level 5 through the game, and once I did that, I got some coins. After downloading a game, Test 'em All will track your progress and reward you with coins. Once you've collected enough coins, you can choose how you want to cash out. And that's exactly what I did when I was playing Hidden Objects. There are different options to choose from here. I personally chose PayPal because I'm a very avid PayPal user, and I use it a lot of the times when I'm spending any type of money. So earning a discounted rate was perfect for me. There are also weekend and daily promotions you can use to boost the amount of coins you earn, like the 2x boost I'm using right now. So to start earning rewards today by playing your favorite games, be sure to check out Test 'em All by clicking the link in my description box or scanning one of the QR codes on screen right now. Thank you again, Test 'em All, for sponsoring this segment of today's video. Now let's get back into today's video. So let's begin with my first talking point. Influencers and celebrities treating their biracial children as if they're their latest Chanel bag. Social media has created a very odd obsession with mixed children. And I almost want to say that this began when Kim Kardashian gave birth to her daughter, Northwest, back in 2013. This was such a crazy time because Beyonce and Jay-Z, singer and rapper, just gave birth to their daughter, Blue Ivy, about a year and a half prior, and people were constantly coming for this young black child. Fully black child, mainly coming for her hair, her black features, and just attacking her looks as a whole. Then comes along Northwest, a biracial child born from Kim Kardashian, who is known for dating a multitude of black men. When Kim and Kanye finally released photos of Northwest, it was almost as if it broke the internet. Everybody was almost obsessed with this young baby and were constantly glorifying her curly hair and her light features compared to Blue Ivy. If you guys don't remember, Blue Ivy and Northwest were constantly compared, and I think it's just because they were both born around the same time, and one was fully black and one was mixed. People found Northwest to be cuter, more digestible, mixed. That was the look that everybody wanted their children to look like. Rather than acknowledging the reality of what it is to be a biracial child, people were instead glorifying these biracial children as if they were some aesthetic, knowing that when they get older, they're going to deal with a multitude of things, especially given in today's society. From curated family vlogs, to perfectly posed Instagram shots, to the constant speaking on their features. Biracial children are often and were often treated more as props versus children. And as I stated, the consequences of this goes far beyond social media and a couple of Instagram likes. The odd, deep obsession of biracial children in media has led to these children's exploitation, fetishization, and deep-rooted identity tropes. While they may be admired for their looks in a lot of cases, many of them grow up thinking that their worth is tied to their Eurocentric features that make them stand out compared to other black children, or even white children, rather than who they are as an individual. And like I stated, this leads to a multitude of different problems. And when those cameras shut off, they are led to having to navigate those issues on their own, especially given the fact that their parents may not even realize that their child is going through these deep-rooted problems, especially when the mama is the one that is not the brown person in the relationship. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down how social media has fueled the obsession of biracial children, some different influencers that use their children as a branding tactic, and how this ultimately harms the child more than their parent or the rest of society may think. So society has long had an obsession with exotic looks. The concept of exotic is typically stemmed from mixed race individuals. Looser curls, lighter eyes, more tannish brown skin. This isn't exactly new. I mean, like I say in all my videos, everything stems back to slavery, but social media has definitely amplified the disturbing aspect of people obsessing over mixed children. From viral TikToks of parents boasting about their child's mixed features, to influencers treating their biracial children as if they're some accessory. The fetishization of mixed children has been deeply ingrained in the digital media footprint. One of the clearest examples of this that we see on social media is the hyperfixation on the perfect features. Don't even get me started on the whole entire concept of quote unquote good hair. And unfortunately, that stems a lot from people that look like me. My black peers and folks tend to really hyperfixate on this exact feature. The concept of good hair stems from a long lining of black people being taught to hate their hair. We are always told that our hair is not good enough, and it's so funny because right now y'all see my hair is straight and I got a little sewing in, but y'all, let me be real, I absolutely love and I adore my curls. My curls are very much so healthy. I just like to switch it up sometimes, but I just have to make that clear because y'all like to add that in, and I think it's okay if you want to switch it up. And I think that's like the beauty of our hair, is that when you have kinkier, curlier hair, our hair is so versatile that you can do a multitude of different styles, and you don't have to necessarily be tied to just one style. And I will never just be tied to one style. I think it's important to teach your children to love and embrace their natural hair before they begin trying different styles. I didn't get my first sew-in until I was 22 years old, okay? I was always wearing my natural hair, or I would do like synthetic hair if anything, but I've always loved and embraced my natural hair. And I also want to be clear that I know that maybe that's the case because I don't have super kinky hair, like a 4C texture, but still, I'm sure y'all remember that era when only type 3 hair was like the hair that was so desirable. I think I'm more of a 3C, 4A hair type, but still I'm on like the thicker side of things, if you know what I mean. But that's besides the point. So as I just stated, looser and silkier textured hair is more praised compared to kinkier and coarser hair. The entire concept of light eyes and curly hair is fawned after. And that gets to my first example, Damien and Bianca from the Prince family. Now, I'm sure they probably want this entire story to be dead because their daughter's like probably gonna be 6 years old now, but we have to bring it up due to me talking about this video and just the constant fetishization of lighter / mixed features. So back in 2019, the Prince family dropped their vlog of them giving birth to their first daughter and their third child, Nova. So in this video, you obviously see her give birth to the child, and it almost is automatic that the mother and the father begin to analyze, well, overly analyze their daughter's features, looking for features that make her look lighter. Now, I want to also add in that Bianca is a mixed race individual. She has lighter skin and lighter eyes, and she has been known to say very colorist things along with her dark-skinned husband.
My eyelashes coming off. I'm already done, so that's what I look like. My name is Baby Sharquita.
But when they gave birth to their daughter, Nova, they angered viewers, and this went everywhere. It was even on the news, I remember, when they were looking at their daughter's ears to see how dark she would be and were peering to see if she would have light eyes. And when Damien, the husband of the Prince family, stated, "Oh, I think she's going to be dark like me," the mom almost disgustedly said, "She's not going to be dark like you." So it wasn't only this. Bianca then went to ask the nurse in the delivery room, when does a baby's eye color come in? And then she went on to say, she's going to have brown eyes. I thought you were going to have pretty eyes. What exactly are pretty eyes? It was to the point where the nurse had to step in and said that her eyes are beautiful. Because are brown eyes just not beautiful because the majority of people have brown eyes? It is despicable. Bianca has greenish eyes, and like I said, she probably was praised all her life for her lighter skin features. So of course she'd want her daughter to have that same praise because she knows her husband clearly isn't the biggest fan of dark-skinned women or black women in general, because he picked her and he said some interesting things, and she even has been put on this pedestal once again all of her life because of her lighter features. So she was hoping that her daughter would have those same features because she would probably get that same treatment. This is just one example of many influencers that hyperfixate on their child's features, and they continue to promote very negative stereotypes against brown and black people that we deal with every single day. And this leads to me speaking on a multitude of other influencers that do this not as blatantly, but they do it kind of in an innocent way where they make their biracial children the center of their content by constantly highlighting their biracial child's features. And this segment will be called The Rise of the Mixed Kid Trend Among Influencers. In recent years, many influencers have built their entire brand surrounding their mixed race child or children. And once again, it's almost as if they treat these children as if they're props. I mean, the entire pregnancy, they just constantly are talking about what will the child look like? What color will the baby's eyes be? Will the baby have light skin? Will the baby have colored hair? It is so despicable and cringy.
So I am due beginning of July, okay? My husband is 100% Vietnamese. I am white, okay? I have no idea what our kid is gonna look like because I feel like it's not as common to have a white mom and an Asian dad. So if you do have that, please duet this so I can see what you look like, because I am so excited to see what little man's gonna look like, and I just want to see what you look like.
This trend has obviously become more prevalent on platforms like TikTok and Instagram due to the cute mixed baby trend that is constantly circulating. And when this content is constantly trending and circulating, that means more engagement and more money for the parents. There is a constant growing number of mixed race couples that create social media accounts in order to profit off of their child's looks. And their online presence highly circles around their child's skin color, their child's hair color, and their child's eye color, along with a multitude of other things. And this phenomenon is largely noticed among white moms with the biracial children. You do not see this as much with the black moms that have biracial children, and that is a whole different video. I don't know what video I'd put that in terms of a biracial child with a white mom versus a biracial child with a black mom, but it's definitely a conversation that is constantly had, but can be had even more and can be had even more in depth. But I'll see if I'll do a video like that. I've been trying to steer away from race content for years now because people really like to try it when it comes to content like that. But some of these white or non-black influencers get in relationships with black men and immediately begin producing content surrounded by the fact that they're in an interracial relationship, and then when they decide to have a child, they end up involving the child in that mess as well. One of the most common strategies that these white moms use in an almost innocent manner is when they do hair tutorials on their curly hair child. This on the surface can seem so harmless and like, oh my god, she's doing her daughter's hair, that is so sweet. But actually, it very much so contributes to the commodification of racial identity when it comes to their biracial child. These videos often gain a lot of traction because it's highlighting the exotic features of their child. The mom is being praised for actually knowing how to tackle her brown child's hair, and it also further reinforces that certain textures and hair colors are more desirable than others. Take for instance influencer Alyssa Flewellen. I have highlighted Alyssa in prior videos. Actually, I talked about this topic exactly in prior videos when I talked about mommy vloggers and the exploitation of children. Alyssa is a prime example of a white influencer that has capitalized off of her biracial children. Her content is consistently centered around the fact that she has a black husband and her children are biracial. She is one that is always doing hair tutorials, and I always say, if y'all really want to be real, if your child was fully fully white, would you honestly be sitting there weekly creating hair tutorials on each child? Like, let's be for real. White children can have fun and cute hairstyles as well, but no, you're not gonna do a video with your white child because you know that that's not gonna get as much engagement because it's more intriguing to see a white woman play in a black child's hair. So the hair tutorials are by far incredibly cringy.
All right, let's do the squad's hair, all 4 of them. This one's just for fun because she's cute. I mean, look at this. I'm also enjoying it while it's easy because it's gonna be curly real soon. Next, we have the boy. Thank gosh I have one of these. Otherwise, I think I would be doing hair my entire life. Also, the boy can barely handle short hair. He could never have long hair. For Harper, since she had a style last week, I will do down hair the week after just to kind of help with preserving her curls and with her edges. I don't want to like break them off with all the ponytails, so down hair for her. And then for Hayden, she had down hair this week, so I did a little 15-minute style, which shockingly has lasted a lot longer than anticipated. I filmed this on Monday and I was gonna post it on Monday, but here we are on Friday and it's still kicking, so I'm gonna call that a win.
I'm not saying that white women should not know how to do their biracial child's hair. No, I do believe that you should know how to do your biracial child's hair. That's the bare minimum. When you sleep with a black man, or if you are a white man sleeping with a black woman, the bare minimum is to learn how to do your child's hair, okay? And it's not just their hair. You also should learn and understand the many, many different stereotypes, prejudices, and microaggressions that your child will deal with in the future. Like I said, the bare minimum. But it's when you put your child out like they're a zoo animal in order to show like, hey, look at me. I know how to do my black kid's hair. It just is so freaking cringy. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It's different if you decide to do like maybe one tutorial, but when your entire content is centered around that, that's when I start giving you the side eye. And along with that, Alyssa also very much so almost creates her children to be caricatures.
My mom's white. Of course Daddy had to introduce us to the wash. My mom's white. Of course we asked Daddy to cook. My mom's white. Of course my name rhymes with Jaden. My mom is always white and I said white! My mom is white. Of course you don't get spanked. Our mom's white. Of course it took her years to figure out her girls. Yeah.
She's always talking about one child running out of ink because her youngest 2 children are a lot fairer skinned than her 2 eldest children. When she was pregnant with her 4th child, she just recently gave birth to a baby number 4. I wonder what hair texture they're gonna have, or I wonder what their eye color is gonna be. She does videos of side-by-sides with all their different eye colors. It's a lot of fetishization of your children, even if you don't realize you're doing it in that moment. And what's most upsetting is that a lot of people choose to be ignorant on the fact that this is the fetishization of a child. She knows that her having brown children is what most likely made her this full-time influencer with these big, beautiful homes, being able to go on these trips and do all these things. It's not her husband and it's not her. It's her children that put her on this pedestal. So she's going to continue using her children as a paycheck because this is what is important and of value and what is keeping up with their lifestyle. Another influencer is Nika Diwa. And this woman, oh my God, y'all, she cringes me out. So Nika Diwa is actually Filipina. So she's not phenotypically white, but she still is non-black and she still fits into this category of fetishizing and using your child as a caricature. So Nika does this drastically, especially when it comes to her daughter's hair. Nika has made so many videos on her daughter's hair and how unattainable and unmanageable it is and how she needs to learn how to do her hair and she has to know what got-to-be glue is and what gel is and baby hairs and edges and all of these things.
Hold on, what? Nigga said, wait, what did you say? Gorilla snot. Clean temperature oval. Like that from edges. Yes. Huh? The moisture. You see what? You put in the leading conditioner. That's the way for edges. And then you use the brush. Why are there so many brushes? Why are there so many brushes?
Mixed baby hair is beautiful, but it's also very confusing. I don't know if it is more like black hair, more like Asian hair. It's just like somewhere in the middle. I'm realizing that like the rules for black hair and Asian hair on the opposite extremes don't necessarily apply to my daughter. Like, is gel better than mousse? You know, does she need curl defining cream? All these things. If you have any advice I'd sure appreciate it.
So once again, she's using her child as a scapegoat for her to look as if she is like this savior for her child, and that I want to understand my daughter's hair and I want to be able to do my child's hair, and I'm learning. I'm taking my daughter to all the black hairstylists, and I'm taking time to learn different hairstyles for my black child and her kinky hair. Mind you, this baby's hair is the same damn texture as hers. Like, if we're really being for real, her daughter's hair is so easy to manage. It is literally silky. It's almost as if she wanted her child to have kinkier hair to be able to make profit and make content off of her child. But it is very clear that she is using her child as a content booster. So Nika's daughter is half Filipina and half Nigerian. But like I said, her daughter's hair is a lot closer tied to her Filipina side than it is to her Nigerian side. Because Nigerians, once again, we all know black people come in every different color, shade, their hair comes in every different texture. But for the most part, Nigerians, Africans, black people are known to have kinkier textured hair. And her daughter does not have that. Her daughter is browner, yes, but her daughter does not have this kinky textured hair that Nika is perceiving her daughter to have. Take a look at some of the videos that I'm speaking on when it comes to Nika using her daughter as a content prop in order to gain sympathy, attention, and some leverage from her content.
Just have those like worms.
Who said? At school?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that sometimes people are not kind.
Well, why is not time, Mama?
I don't know, honey, but you know what? You know what I do know? I know that you have enough kindness for everyone. And you want to know something cool about worms? Like a caterpillar? You know what a caterpillar turns into? A butterfly. And butterflies are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Would you like a butterfly crowd today?
Yes.
Okay. I love my hair. I love my hair.
Yes, I will.
Little butterfly.
I love it.
I love it too, honey.
Ta-da! Why now, Toni?
Because mommy's hair's straight.
Sweet.
Oh, thank you. Well, your hair's really beautiful too. Your hair is curly. People have different kinds of hair. We get to have fun taking care of them different ways. Because different is beautiful. Moisture. Okay. Put a little bit of water. Moisture. Scrunch. Curly is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Let's look at you.
I'm beautiful. I love colored hair.
You have a middle name that's Nigerian?
Mhm.
Batuto Chukwu.
No, not the name. I didn't think so.
Batuto Chukwu? That's a beautiful name.
No,
Why don't you think it's a beautiful name?
I can say it.
No one can say your name?
Yeah.
But that's not your problem. That's their problem. You know what your name means? And Batuto Chukwu in Nigerian means peace. Peace is when we're not scared of anything. Zion Rose Batuto Chukwu means God's beautiful dwelling place of peace.
That's a midnight.
So, if people can't say your name, is that your problem? No.
No,
Say that's their problem.
that's their problem.
Yeah, they need to take the time to learn how to say your name, period.
Period.
I know that's right.
I know that's right. I think it's go.
Oh, you need to learn how to say your name too. So your hair is really special. We're trying to figure it out as we go along. Look at that curl back there. So curly back there. And then here it's like wavy. You want a crown?
Come on, Mama.
Once again, let's think. Would these white and non-black influencer moms be creating the same content if their child was not biracial? Let's critically think, guys. I'm not sitting here just bashing them because I want all the black men to myself, like y'all like to come up with. Honestly, date who the hell you want to date, but don't go ahead and make a mockery of black culture in order for you to profit off of black culture. It's disgusting. And the last mom that I'm going to speak on that does the same exact thing as these other two moms do in terms of doing hair tutorials and constantly talking about their child's biracial features is the channel, well, the TikTok page Scarlet and Tionia. I think it's Tionia, but Scarlet is the biracial child that Tionia has. So this creator, the mom Tionia, does the same exact thing. She started off with creating content on her daughter, mainly doing her daughter's hair, doing tutorials, making her daughter dance, showing that she knows about her daughter's hair texture, her daughter's getting braids, and all these different things to boost her own celebrity and to boost her own likeness, because it's like, oh my God, you're one of us because you actually treat your daughter like a human being.
Okay, so number one tip would be to definitely use like a silk pillow, a bonnet, or like put their hair in like a protective braid while they're sleeping. All right, how do you want to do your hair?
I wanna do like let me show you what I wanna pigs going like you want me to do so.
2 pigs? Really? Okay, good.
I love everybody's hair.
I love everybody's hair. Good job, Scarlett.
We love everybody's hair.
We love everybody's hair.
We love ourselves.
We love ourselves.
We love...
Remember how you told that girl yesterday that you loved her hair? That was really good, Scarlett. I'm so proud of you.
Like, it's just interesting to me that they do this all the time. It's like clockwork. Once they know they're having a black baby, it's time for them to come up with all the content ideas of learning my daughter's curly hair. And, oh, guys, I don't know how to do my kid's hair. What would you guys recommend? As if Google doesn't exist. They do this time and time again. And it's actually funny because Tionia actually got, I really hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I don't watch her content. I just see the little clips of Scarlett, and I thought Scarlett was a cute little girl. But there was a time where there was video footage that when they were on live, I believe, of Scarlett, the little girl, not wanting to make content for her mom, but her mom was like, no, you're going to make that video. And the only reason why we saw it was because we saw the mom in the background with the mirror right there, like scolding her daughter, like, you're going to sit down, you're going to make this video.
No, I don't have time to do that. Your brother's gonna do it in the car. Get in your seat now. Let's go. Come on. Love you. Can you say hey to everybody? Do you know where your brush is? Huh?
I don't want to be in there. I don't want to be in there.
Okay, tell everybody bye.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, all right, bye. She doesn't want to be on camera, so we gotta go. Bye.
Sorry.
It's okay. If you don't want to be on it, that's fine. All right, here. Bye, y'all.
I think I also mentioned them in my other mommy vlogger video too, when I said like mommy vloggers should be canceled. But yeah, they do things like this a lot because they are using their children as profit. These moms would be nothing without their biracial child, and they know that. So they're using their children as these props. They're making sure their children has their hair curly and right. They're making sure their children have these spunky, sassy black girl personalities. Like, they do this. And once again, whether they know they're doing this intentionally or not, it does not take away from the fact that they are indeed doing it. So lastly, I said I wasn't going to speak on this, but I think I'm going to highlight this anyhow. I want to speak on the entire concept of the black mom with a biracial child versus the white mom with a biracial child and how those children grow up. This is probably one of the most uncomfortable but clearly undeniable issues when it comes to having mixed race children. When a white mom has a biracial child, particularly with a black man or a man that is more exotic in the eyes of society, so black or Asian, whichever, that mom particularly will brag about their child's features a lot of the times. And a lot of the times it's before the child is even born. They'll say things along the lines of, I can't wait to see if the baby gets my husband's curly hair, or if the baby gets my blue eyes, or I hope the baby has curly hair, or I hope the baby has nice lips or tan skin. Like, very interesting things that they say. And Kylie Jenner has actually been caught saying this. When speaking on her daughter Stormy before she was even 1 year old, Kylie said something along the lines of, she has the one feature that I always wanted, lips. She has the best lips.
Stormy reminds me, she's my twin. Now she's like looking a lot more like her dad. I prayed and prayed that she would have like my big eyes, and she has like the biggest eyes ever.
She stares and captures your soul.
The one thing I was insecure about, she has the most perfect lips.
She does.
In the whole entire world. She didn't get those from me. I think her dad did those.
This is how a lot of them look at their children. They look at their children as these exotic beings, these fetishes, when that should not be the case at all. Their children are also often put into a lot of white spaces. So their child is growing up in spaces that does not clearly identify with them. And that is going to come with challenges. I don't care how many ways y'all try to act like that's not going to come with challenges on its own if you just have them grow up in society like that. No, they're always going to look different. There's always going to be stereotypes. There's always going to be tokenization. There's always going to be fetishizations, and there's always going to be racism when you put them in predominantly white spaces. That is just the unfortunate reality, and I'm saying that as someone who has grown up with biracial friends, with white moms versus those friends that have had black moms raise them.
Let's talk about the fetishization of biracial children, and specifically of those with white moms. I couldn't help but show it to you and use it as an example. This is a couple. I'm not going to tag them or leave any identifiers other than this picture because there are children involved, but I'm going to describe to you the post. The first slide is, of course, this picture of them together, the happy couple, which reads, "Mixed kids are so pretty." The next slide is a picture of their baby that says, "My mixed baby." The next slide is a picture of their baby, and it reads, "But there was no ink." And the baby favors the mother in the skin color department over the father. To which she then states in the caption, "I had my mini-me," with the captions, "mixed baby," "mixed kids," "white baby boy," and "black baby boy."
Being raised by a white mother left me very ignorant, but also anti-black for many years of my life. And that's not something like I say with pride at all. I say it with a lot of shame. Now, I know that because of how I was raised, like, and because my dad didn't do his job as a black man, like being married to a white woman, that I guess it wasn't like my fault as a kid, but the more like work that I'm doing and the more, I don't know, I stepped away from like my mother, the more that I'm just sad because I see all these ways that I was just being me. Like I was just being the black biracial daughter that she had, but she made me shrink myself and made me fit into the spaces she wanted me to fit into so that she was comfortable and so that I made everybody else comfortable. The more that I wear and protect my hair, the more my curls stay good and like stay healthy, not good, stay healthy. And now there's no shame. There's no shame. And there's nobody coming up to me saying anything. There's nobody looking at me funny. It was just my mom's own internal hatred for women of color and the fact that she felt so confident to and proud to say those things around her biracial daughters that influenced my brain to think that it was an issue when it wasn't an issue. And I always knew it was an issue. But when your mother that raises you continues to be so toxic, I guess your brain starts to change. But it like makes me so sad because I spent so many years not protecting my hair because of what my mother said and allowed myself to internalize that instead of just being proud of who I was and learning from other women of color on how to protect my hair.
When you put your child in unfamiliar settings that don't identify closely to who they are, phenotypically, they're going to struggle because there are certain things that their black peers can teach them or help them with versus their white peers. That is just the honest to God truth. And y'all, I don't know if I say this, it's gonna start some drama. I don't know if I'm putting my foot in my mouth right now, but I have to say it. Black women are known to highlight certain issues and we go through certain experiences that triumph a lot. And I'm not taking this away from black men, but as a black woman, like Malcolm X said, black women are the #1 hated person in America because black men be saying things about us too. And I'm not saying black women don't, but y'all, can we just be honest without y'all trying to come for me in a second? Like, please, I'm just trying to keep it real. But with that being said, a lot of the times when those black women may be with a white man, and a lot of times when these black women are with white men, is because black men were being disrespectful towards them. Look at the black women that typically date white men. Y'all talked a lot of crap about them, and I'm only gonna go where I wanted and celebrate it, okay? And as they should. But they often celebrate their child's black features versus celebrating their white ones. And a lot of the times in a relationship with a white mom and a black dad, they are celebrating the black features, but the watering down of those black features. So there is a very clear and obvious difference in the parenting. And the biracial children say it themselves, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. But the psychological effects of a biracial child not knowing their full and true identity comes with an identity crisis, for one, validation seeking, colorism, and internalized racism. So all in all, this isn't just an influencer problem. This is a historical problem. Society's obsession with biracial children is once again deeply rooted in colorism, colonialism, and the racial hierarchies that have lived on for centuries. The glorification of mixed features, which is lighter skin, looser curls, lighter eyes, and just overall racially ambiguous features, has long been made to uphold and to celebrate the dismissal of of Black features and Black people as a whole. With these white women putting their child online, praising the fact their child has these racially ambiguous features, it will likely cause a much bigger problem. Parents, influencers, and celebrities need to do a way better job when it comes to protecting their children. I mean, it's not just about biracial kids. You shouldn't be parading your child online at all. But when it comes to biracial children, these parents need to ensure their child is growing up in spaces that fully accept their full identity and not just their proximity to whiteness. Your child isn't just a cash cow, okay? Your child's gonna have to grow up and deal with the ramifications that comes from your bad doings. Especially when it comes to the comparison side by side of which kid is lighter, which kid has looser curls, which kid has lighter eyes. It is absolutely ridiculous and repulsive. And every time I think about it, I just get madder and madder because it just needs to absolutely stop. But you guys, that is the end of today's video. I, of course, want to know what you guys think. Have you guys noticed this trend online? Do you guys feel like the parents of biracial children fetishize their children? Let's chat it up in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, we are on the road to 300,000 subscribers. And yeah, I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment. Come get close like you own it.